Okay, so it's been a few weeks since the last time we've gotten into this, um, so forgive me if there might be some indiscrepancies in how voices sound, really. But I think I have a pretty good handle. But yeah, we just got through an incident of discovering, that Mia was blackmailing Olivia, really. And Olivia was doing artwork projects for them, uh, and her friends. Now she's been discovered, and we're gonna find out where we go from there with that. While students trickle out of the school, Olivia took the chance to unwind. I figured it'd be best to let her rest, as I saw her drooping eyelids finally shut. She looked cute, just napping idly in her wheelchair. Except for the weird bellowing. It was like a snore, except I could feel it vibrating through the floor. With the clouds hiding the sun and the classroom's lights turned off, I could do with some shut-eye too. But I can't bring my eyes closed. Instead, I look out the window. The layer of clouds overhead steadily grows more dense, casting a darker shade on everything. Light raindrops prick against the glass. Crap, I really should have brought my umbrella. As a few minutes go by, they roll in closer and closer, blocking out the sunlight. If Olivia were awake, she'd think this was pretty neat. I look back to her. Maybe I could nap too. Just a little. What was... Oh! My eyes are drawn upward to the heavy clouds in the sky. In moments, the glass of the window is assailed by numerous heavy droplets of rain. Holy moly! The trees outside are billowing almost aggressively. Several small branches are stripped away in the torrential downpour. An umbrella wouldn't help with this. Huh? What? My phone's blaring an alarm. So is Olivia's. Instructions to shelter in place for several hours. The classroom door is thrust open quickly. Oh, well, that's a new pose for Iodokin, my goodness. Oh, dear. Poor man. Poor man, he has been through a lot already, and he's got a lot of more paperwork to do with everything that's just happened. Mr. Iodokin is back, panting hard and clothes drenched. He takes our moment of surprise to compose himself as best he can. Ahem. Sorry about that. The faculty is doing a sweep of the campus right now. Apparently there's a monsoon scare right now. Monsoon? Does that happen here? Iodokin gestures to his drenched outfit and out the window as if to ask if Mia had clocked me in the head after all. Right. Are we going to be all right? Oh, of course. Schools are designated shelters for the worst disasters. If anything, you're safer here than at home. But the hallway outside is open, isn't it? I just finished putting the cover up. A cover? Just keep close to the wall, yeah? What do we do now? Iodokin shakes his phone at us. Shelter in place. We're all stuck here for a few hours. Olivia reaches into her bag and pulls out her drawing book and a well-used pencil. Actually, why don't you use this time to catch up on some schoolwork? I'm sure you have some work from the other classes still pending, and I can't think of a better time to tackle that than now. But today's been rough. Can't I do this or finish my nap instead? That's fine too, but aren't you falling behind grade-wise in some of your other classes? Maybe. Fine. I'll catch up on some of that work. Iodokin gives a single nod and smiles. Olivia puts away her drawing materials and instead pulls out her bulky mathematics books, which she sets on the table with more force than necessary, followed by her notebook. With some hesitation on her part, Olivia sets herself to work. Meanwhile, I bring myself closer to her in case she wants some help with the work. Okay, so, Inko, do you really think that you are the best one suited to be helping her? I mean, sure, the effort is likely nice, but, I don't know. Is that given your history so far in this game, you are himbo full stop. Okay? I don't think numbers are your suit. Anyway. After a few minutes, it's clear her mind and spirit isn't into the work one bit. She constantly fidgets, taps her pen on the table, and looks around the room and out the window. Eventually, she lets out a groan and slams her book shut. This sucks. Can I please do something else? Iodakin, who had been busying himself with grading some paperwork, snaps up away from his work, looking at Olivia while rubbing his chin. Well, there is one thing you could help out with. Would need both of your help with it. Could even consider it a new extra assignment. What do you say? I don't know. Today's been pretty rough on Olivia. Absolutely, I'll do it. All right. Yep, the girl does not want to do the math homework, so she'll do anything. Wonderful. It's back here. He starts walking to the back of the room and waves for the two of us to follow him. We're going to be developing the wedding photos, aren't we? Oh, something in the darkroom? Oh man, I thought we wouldn't get to do anything in there until the last few weeks of the semester. Are we going to be getting a head start on this section? Maybe we'll be making prints or learning about C41 and... Huh? Oh, Olivia's poking my back. Quit it with the cinematic gait. You're going too slow. Oops. I shake the assignment off and head into the darkroom. Iodakin holds the door open for the two of us to enter. The inside glows a vibrant crimson light. Iodakin's suit appears to light up in the red lights, as does my shirt. I've only actually been in a dark room once before. This is so cool. I clasp my hands together. So, what are we developing? We? This is an important job just for you. Alright, I'm ready for it. What am I developing? Your lower back. Oh. Wow. Okay, that was unexpected. There's a click of a switch, and the red lights switch to normal lights and properly illuminate the room. There's boxes over there. I need one at each station around the room, but they're too heavy for me. If you can, of course. Legally, I can't make you do any of this. Do I at least get extra credit? You get one of the bags of chips I keep hidden in my desk. Fine. Nice! Come on, Olivia. We should clear the way for him. There actually is something in the box we'll need in a bit. The two move back to the entrance, and I'm faced with the myriad boxes I'll have to carry. Looks like there's about 10. They're pretty medium-sized, like you could fit a table lamp in them. How heavy can they... Lift with your knees, Inko! This is gonna suck. I look at Olivia, and she already has her phone out and pointed my way. Damn it. I shift my legs and try again. I actually managed to get this thing off the ground. This must weigh at least 70 pounds. What are these loaded with? Bricks? Something like that. Careful, they're fragile. What? Okay. We'll figure out in just a moment. I just have questions. Finally, I get the last box in its place. I pick a chair and collapse in a heap. My muscles are on fire. Though, to be honest, I don't know if I could have done all that at the beginning of the year. I guess I'm getting stronger. Iodakin walks back into the darkroom with a small black toolbox. Oh, good, you're done. Come on out and take a breather. That looked tough. I'd rather stay here. Olivia shows up in the doorway behind Iodakin. I'm surprised he didn't use the dolly. Oh my god, there was a dolly. Well, too late for it now. What dolly? Those dollies, right over there. Before you get started with me, Inko, you didn't ask. He has a point. He didn't ask. For the love of... I hate you. That's the spirit. Olivia stifles her laughter into a snickering snort fest. Your mood will improve when you see just what you've been carrying. Oh? He grabs a box cutter from a shelf and slices the top of one open. Our teacher pulls out what looks like a large overhead lamp from the box. Oh, sweet! So that means that you'll be making your own prints for midterms. That sounds awesome! Oh man, I can't wait to... But before any of that, they need to be assembled. The rest of the parts are taken from the first box and set down meticulously. Olivia's gotten curious as she's rolled up to the station and handling one of the funnier-looking pieces. Anywho, here you two go. Wait, 2? Yes, 2. Don't think I didn't notice you watching Inko so much. The stammered denial from Olivia does nothing to wipe the cheeky grin from our teacher's face. But what about you, Mr. Yodakin? I'll be right back. He makes his way to the door again. And get started without me, I need to go fetch some things. He's not coming back. Before either Olivia or I can speak up, he's left the room. Olivia already has the toolbox open on her lap. Right then. I grab the folded up instructions and lay it out, seeing the details of the bizarre device fully assembled. Okay, so... Thunk. Step 1. Hand me the next piece. Oh, did I scare you? Yes, you scared me! These things are heavy! What if you dropped that on something? I didn't, though. But you could have! And I didn't. Olivia's tail reaches for some brackets, but I grab the limb before she can take them. Hold on! We gotta do things right, or the enlarger might not work right. She retracts her tail from the table. You're no fun. It's just an oversized lamp. That's a gross oversimplification. You're a gross oversimplification. Yodakin's gonna make you use the one you break. Just means I can sketch more, right? Well, it means you can't participate and learn about photography. Photography's your thing, so it doesn't really apply to me much, does it? Well, maybe that's the case for you, but photography's my thing. It's the whole reason I took this class, after all. Oh. Sorry. It's nothing. Olivia politely rests her hands in her lap. Her eyes linger on the box of parts. Well? How does it work, then? The print enlarger? She shakes her head. Photography. Like, why the giant lamp thing? It's all digital today, right? Huh. I think that's the first time someone's actually asked me about it. Sure, I've had lots of mid-shower rehearsal was explaining my hobbies and their cultural significance to others, but none of that's coming to me right now. It's all about shot composition, and this machine is part of the production of it. Getting the right things in the right places at the right time to evoke a certain feeling. Composition is the thing in painting too, you know. I'm ill-prepared for Olivia's comeback. Yeah, but it's a lot easier to pick the composition you want. You don't have to worry about any factors other than yourself. With photography, you have to build the set to get a good photo. That's the fun of it. But why would you want to limit yourself like that? Why not just draw whatever you're taking a picture of instead? You could express all kinds of things you could never express with a photo. Olivia taps a claw on the imager, the metallic ping echoing in the small room. What sets all this junk apart from just lines on a page? The technique and the vision! She smirks at my petulant comment. Fine, I'll show her. I'll prove to you that this takes skill. I hold the lighting portion up, making sure it's at the right angle, and fasten the last portion of the enlarger in. I plug the machine in and flip the switch, happy that it works right and lights up the entire base. Olivia looks at me with confusion as I move to the entrance of the room and flick the light switch, bathing the room in bright red light again. There we go. We actually get to see it like this. Okay. Going back to our workspace, I pulled the developed negatives from my backpack and slopped the slide I want into the carrier. And ta-da! The negative carrier in place in the machine, a blurry gray blob is projected onto the base.
What?
Give me a minute. I hold the manual under the light to the side of the blob, checking which knob is which and slowly turn them. As the lens and billows shift, the Rorschach test transforms, gaining more definition until finally it becomes the spitting image of the school's front entrance. I can even do this! I take out the negative and place another atop it before slotting the carrier back in, while also increasing the strength of the light. The image displayed is now the entrance with a half-dozen semi-transparent students in front of it.
What did you do?
I overlapped another shot. The backgrounds are the same and doubled up, so I had to intensify the light, otherwise the entrance would be too dim.
So? That would take me a few minutes to do tops. It'd look a lot better, too.
She smirks, but I think she's feigning her apathy this time. Her tail gives her away. It's a lot more technical, I guess, but I only knew how to do this kind of stuff from Mr. Yudakin's lectures about negatives.
Well, what else can you do with this thing?
I don't know, but... What's that smell? Oh, shit! I pull out the negative carrier and wince at how hot it is. Crap, shit! Olivia's quick to rip the plug from the socket. With my sleeve, I open up the carrier and see I've managed to melt the two negatives together. Oh, man. I was going to use that. All that work, and I go and mess it up trying to prove something. Olivia's never going to let me live this down. The green Gator girl lays a sympathetic hand on my shoulder to my surprise.
Hey, shit happens. I've ruined a lot of paintings in the past too, you know.
She takes the reels from the warm metal plate and holds them up to the red light, trying to see through them.
And you've got more shots on this thing.
But I liked those shots.
Then go retake them.
It's not that easy. Like, it has to be the exact same time and weather and... Whoop. Blackout. Lighting? The abrupt darkness coincides with the vague ambient sound of the ventilation shuddering to a halt. The blackness is all-encompassing. I can't even see Olivia, who I know is right next to me.
Inko?
Her voice helps me confirm that we're still alive in some fashion. But there's a shakiness in her tone, which sends a tense rattle down my spine. Our breathing is the only noise. It's as if we'd been encapsulated in a void of nothingness. I'm still here.
I know that.
I plant my hand down to brace her snout, feeling the still warm metal of the enlarger base.
But,
Yeah, guess the school lost power. I feel something cover my hand, and then squeeze. Painfully.
Ow. Sorry.
The pressure lessens, but she doesn't let go of my fingers. No, it's fine. There's a subtle shake in the scaly limb in my hand, but when I brush my thumb across it, the limb eases.
Hey, stop that.
Stop what?
Just stop that thing you're doing with your hand.
I shrug, and then want to slap my face when I realize she can't see that. All right. Standing here in the darkness of the dark room isn't getting us anywhere.
We should go and find...
I'm gonna guess this is the Yudakin.
Olivia! Inko!
Ah! My instincts kick in. I hop back to make space between us and the killer. I turn my back to them to become a defensive wall. I wrap my arms around Olivia's head to make sure she's 100% protected. Yeah, it's Yudakin.
Hey, it's me, Mr. Yudakin. It took a bit to find a flashlight, but with how this room is...
I look up to the shining white pterodactyl, pointing the flashlight at his own face. Oh.
Get off of me, you get!
Oof. Look, I'm not paying you two to get frisky in the closet. That's what Trigham's class is for.
We're not for...
Mr. Yudakin holds up a pale hand, his grin widening. Relax, I'm just joking around. He leans against the door to get a better look inside the dark room with his flashlight. Power's out for the whole block, and apparently our backup generator's decades old and is only keeping the AC on. Someone should get fired for that. Come on, we can wait it out in the studio. Olivia follows me out into the main classroom as we trail slowly in Mr. Yodakin's wake. The slow sounds of his gait sets a nice contrast to the rain lashing against the windows. Whoa, it's really coming down outside.
Think it'll flood?
It floods here?
Sometimes. The ground floor classrooms used to have carpet, you know.
Iodakin starts pulling something out of his desk, but it's too dark to see what.
Ugh, don't remind me. That junk just sucked away half a year's funding. You ever tried teaching people about watercolors without the friggin' watercolors? It's ridiculous. I remember.
I remember you were the most upset.
All right.
He gets some tiny tea lights down on one of the desks and begins lighting them. The tiny wicks are set alight with the tiniest of embers, providing the bare minimum of illumination for us to see.
Won't those trigger the fire alarms?
We should be fine. They're too small by themselves. What are those for?
Been saving them for a rainy day. We're going to be stuck here for a while, so why not make it a campout? Camping. I like the sound of that.
Won't we get in trouble, though? It'd be trespassing, right?
It's either this or trying to get home in this storm.
As if to illustrate his point, the weather decided to chime in.
Besides, schools are usually made with sheltering in mind. There's all kinds of procedures for this, like bringing everyone to the gym and breaking out some really moldy cots.
Olivia winces.
Those haven't been replaced?
Huh, our budget has been in the red for years, Miss Halford. Part of why we're being scrutinized right now with that whole audit business.
Anyway, we're the only ones left on campus, so I'm not going to go through all that trouble. So just relax for now. I've already called a taxi for the both of you.
Taxi?
I made the call as soon as the power went out. It's just going to be a while to get one ready and send it out.
What do we do in the meantime? Our teacher has a wicked grin.
You're not done with that homework, right?
Oh, I'm kidding. Time and the storm carry on, yet things are surprisingly calm. Olivia pretends to focus on her work while I pretend to help her, but soon enough Mr. Yodakin starts sharing wild stories about previous semesters.
You know, a few years back, somebody tried to take his hat right off his head.
Let me tell you, I've never seen a shovel fly that fast. That sounds appropriately violent. Either way, Olivia slowly loosens the facade of productivity, and I join her not long after.
You know, I still owe you for ruining your one coat last year.
Oh, forget about it. I have dozens of them in my closet anyway. You too? The eerie ambience from the blackout is quickly overridden by our combined laughter. Eventually, we run out of things to say and just wait quietly in each other's company. Iodakin slumps downwards in his chair. Long day today. He glances out the window, still being assaulted by sheets of rainwater outside. Normally I am home by now, resting. You two mind if I relax a little here?
No, go ahead.
Thanks. He stretches behind him, cracking his spine against the groove of the chair. Olivia, I've been meaning to say.
Huh?
You're usually so quiet, reserved, isolated even. I've noticed you're being a bit more friendly recently.
Huh? You think so?
You've been in my classes all 4 years, of course I would. Maybe I'm a bit old-fashioned, but it hurts me to see a student hurt themselves like that. When you're in the adult world, you'll see this all the time. Once someone's in a rut, they'll tend to just stay there until their days blend together instead of lifting themselves up. Like they got all the time in the world. So, I'm proud of you for making an effort, Olivia.
Oh, Mr. Yodakin, I don't... I mean...
Don't be flustered, be proud, Olivia. You've managed to form a friendship. Of course I appreciate you extending an olive branch too, Inko. Me? It's no problem, Mr. Yodakin. Come on, school hours are over, you can drop the mister. I mean, it's not something to be thanking me for, is it? I'm just a friend. That is great to hear, though. You can't always navigate this world alone. Someone to keep company can really help.
He can?
More than you can imagine. Iedokin leans forward to place a hand over both of ours. He just barely makes contact with Olivia's wrist when she winces and yanks it back.
Shit.
Olivia? Are you alright?
Ow, I'm fine. That just hurt. I was fine before, though.
You've been trying to stay off that wrist all day. Was it that bad?
It was feeling better. I even helped build those doohickeys.
The print enlarges.
The print enlarges.
He covers his eyes with one hand. Of course, great move. Student's been overworking herself, and I think to give extra physical work. What am I doing?
It wasn't your fault. I didn't want you to worry.
I had no idea how bad it was. He leans forward again, gently holding Olivia's wrist, inspecting it and being careful not to cause any pain. You need to take care of yourself, Olivia. If something were to happen, I know you'd be completely beside yourself.
I know.
I know you were doing extra work, but how did it even get this bad?
It was a lot of extra work. Doing a whole group's assignments on top of my own. For the last 3 weeks, basically all of my free time. It's great practice, at least that's what I was telling myself.
Olivia does her best to hide her wincing as the teacher tests her arm.
I never would have made it to graduation.
All because of that painting you switched. He shakes his head and lets go of Olivia. No, it goes further than that. That painting was all because of the pain you've been going through all these years. All because of that first contest entry hanging in the gala. Your first venture into the art world, and it went how it did. Olivia looks down at her hand, stretching the fingers out and in, slowly, carefully. Okay, I'm starting to get a little bit of a theory really here, is that, well, it's not really just starting to, really so, but I'm voicing this now, is that there's obviously something a bit more involved with that painting, really. It's not more of just, like, her thinking that she got it out of pity, really, so it might have to do probably more with, like, the time frame, the stuff she was experiencing as she was making this painting, really, so like I'm thinking might have to be connected with her family, so kind of wonder if how long it'll be till we hear about that. My hand moves without a thought, fingers taking her hand carefully to help in some way or another. You and that painting. Our teacher palms his face and groans into it. Oh, it's a genuinely good piece, Olivia. I've told you that so many times. She locks up, but manages a small nod. What a horrible chain of events. I've had to witness it all these years. Watch as it's taken your friends, your self-worth. That little smile you had when you first came into my class. And now it's ruining your health. He gently lets go and covers his own eyes again. And I really just sat here and watched it. I was just talking about how people act like they have more time than they have.
Iedokin?
Are you alright? I'm super. I'm more than okay. In fact, I've made up my mind about something. You. Take her to the gala, please. There's something I want you two to see. You. No words. Just do it. Please. I nod.
What are you going to show us?
He stops at the door. Something you should have seen a long time ago. My shoes slosh noisily through the flooded hallway as we slowly head back to the main building of the school. Olivia herself had used her arms to tuck her legs up onto her seat, her head now resting on her knees. Iedokin didn't seem to care, each of his steps splashing water around and soaking his slacks. The drains in the floor are working overtime, keeping the water at a minimal level. An unsettling feeling washes over me as we enter the atrium, the interior of the school pitch black from the lack of lighting. At least we are dealing with wet floors, but navigating the halls in the dark is a new difficulty. Olivia brought out her phone, using its flash as a light to shine our way, but I'm still unnerved. The only sound I hear is the squelches of my shoes and the awkward dripping from both Olivia and I. It was then that I realized that Iodakin had left us behind.
Mr. Iodakin?
Her voice bounces down the dark halls of the school.
Did you see where he went?
Kinda. I think he went that way.
I can just make out Olivia's hand pointing thanks to her phone. Towards the school's offices. I keep pushing Olivia, though taking my time as I feel my shoes threaten to slip with each step I take. It's slow going, but the eerie darkness and my slow steps, what should have taken us a minute at most, takes about 3 minutes for us to arrive at the gala. Well, we're here. The storm rages against the glass ceiling. What's normally the source of the hall's natural lighting is completely obscured by the typhoon. And there's still no sign of Iodakin. I withdraw my phone and turn its flashlight on too, in the hopes to improve the situation. I can hear something else, aside from us in the rain. Something that's getting closer. A tiny red light in the distance there with the sound. The tiny ember bounces and sways in rhythm with the odd tapping. Until... That's Olivia's painting. Oh. Are we going to destroy it? I think we are. Kind of badass. I'm frozen for a second. The thought forces its way through me. He wouldn't ever hurt us. Iodakin, what are you doing? Something is kicked aside. It's Olivia's painting from the art contest a few weeks back. It smacks loudly against the glass casing of the display case. These are the ones, yeah? What? I'm ignored, Iodakin staring right at Olivia. She's also struck fearful. But she nods. Iodakin takes a deep breath and faces the display. What are you going to do with that? Hey! Iodakin, wait! This is a bit extreme, isn't it? Yeah. It's extreme. But it's significant. It's destroying both of them. Okay. Olivia. It's gone. Both of them. This should have been done long ago.
Yeah. Iodakin, this is... It's crazy.
I know. What about the other things in the case? Who fucking cares? Those students graduated ages ago. You know how many still do art? None. If they're collateral so someone else can, fine by me. But Olivia, you got no other big paintings now, do you? She shakes her head. That's a shame. Look what I just did.
I can make another.
Yes, that's what I need to hear. You make me so proud to hear that.
Do you remember, in sophomore year, when you challenged me to think of something I'd wanted to do and set a goal to do it?
Of course.
I couldn't think of anything back then. But there has been one thing I've been wanting to do for a while now. Like you said, some company really could help.
Olivia grips my hand just a little tighter.
Promise not to laugh?
Never.
Would you mind asking me again, Iadakin?
Sure. I believe it was, if you could leave right now and go do anything you wanted, what would you want to do?
Anything at all.
Yep.
I want to go see a fountain. And paint it for you.
Fucking brilliant. There's a fountain here?
There's a park not too far from here, and you can barely see a fountain in the center of it from the window. You can't see it right now in the storm, but I want to go there.
I think I know of it. The one at Stig Equestrian Park? That's wonderful, Olivia. Iadakin stumbles a bit. I rush to give him a shoulder, some shards of glass crunching under my feet. Huh. Good thing the power's out. No cameras up or anything. Won't you get in trouble for this? I'm always in trouble for something. And ordinarily I'd just take the hit. Especially for something like this. That Mia chick can take the fall. To hell with her. Olivia manages another small smile. I'm looking forward to that painting. You better get it to me.
I will.
And you better help. Of course. Iadakin motions for us to wait by the school's entrance. For a while, we sit there.
Do you have one, Iadakin?
Hmm?
Do you have something you want to do?
I'm already doing it.
No, really.
Really? Teaching high school is a great job that nobody ever regrets. You should pose that question to Inko there. All this character development and he's barely said a word. Okay, a little... little fourth wall breaking there. But I get it.
Alright. Inko, what about you?
What do I want to do, huh? If I could pick anything, I guess... Here we go. Next choice. I want to go to college. I want to make plenty of friends. I want to find true love. This is of course, it's quite a loaded question. It helps that we only have the three options here to just consider them, so. And here's the thing, though, is that I wonder if this is a moment for us to get a score for Inko or a score for Olivia, really so. We want to think... Okay. Me in this kind of situation here, so... Me... My high school life, really, so, you know... I did not have any partners, really, so... Well, I didn't necessarily, like, have to worry about that. But in my innocence and, you know, naivete, is that I probably would have answered, I want to find true love, really so. And that's a significant answer, but thinking in the sense of high school as well, is that I kind of wonder if we should be a bit more practical for, like, what would be best for Inko as well. Because although Inko and Olivia do share a bond, is that it's uncertain at this point, really, if it's something that could continue beyond their association in high school, really so. And believe me, this is coming from a person that is a romantic, really so. Believe me, I want them to be together because that's kind of the whole point here, really so. But also is the fact is that in my years and the wisdom I've gained, really so, is that there is more than just the love itself. Is that because love, because high school love, really so, does not always remain really so. Especially right now at this point in time of their lives, they're still rapidly changing, and the years afterwards, they're still going to change into the persons or the people that they would like to be or picture themselves to be. I mean, I'm getting all philosophical really here with this and like thinking too hard about this question really so, but the friends is kind of a blah answer. This one is definitely one that focuses more upon Inko. This one is the romantic intention, which has power, but doesn't have weight to it, really so. And I don't know, is that if we say to college, will that take us away from the romance? Or would being sappy like this just prove our own naivete, really so? It's clearly obvious that he has been developing feelings for her, and just because he doesn't say this, doesn't mean that it still can't happen, so... I gotta say, it's like I am torn really on this question, really, so... Oh, and, you know, here we are, standing out in the rain, getting ourselves completely soaked. We do need to answer. Okay. Alright, I may regret this, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it. A more ambitious dream. I can get behind it.
It's a bit unimaginative.
That's just hater talk.
You should probably start looking more into the how and not the what.
Like you would know, I can totally do it.
Sure thing, Mr. Successful. Your blog doesn't even have 10 followers.
You looked me up?
Yeah, I got bored.
You could at least follow me if you're gonna cyberstalk me.
I'll follow you when you make good content. Also, your interpretation of Godzilla you copied from a video essay sucks, and you should feel bad.
I copy Dawkins' motion with the axe and karate chop Olivia's leg.
I didn't feel that, jackass.
Well, I guess some banter is a form of motivation as well. Sounds like you have quite the promise to uphold now, Inku. Boo. Even with the disses being thrown around, what stood out most was the wild grin on Olivia's face. Between the staccato of rain and the uproarious laughter, time seemed non-existent. I could feel the muscles in my face ache brought on by bouts of laughter and grinning, which made the taxi's arrival so disappointing. As we were escorted out of the parking lot, our mirth was replaced with something more. Calm. Comfortable. An easy quiet that let my thoughts wander back to the things that we said to each other. Back to what our tarot teacher had said. Navigating the world alone. For all the time I spent around Olivia and her friends, it never really occurred to me that she'd harbor something like loneliness. I mean, Damien alone is like a wild crowd composed of a single madman. And Liz, she's practically the group's nanny or something. The driver of the yellow van leans into his horn, and I can feel a baleful leer on me even through the haze of fog and raindrops. Olivia draws her hood up, and I hold my jacket above my head. With a final look to Mr. Yodakin, we thank him. No need for thanks. Seeing my students grow and prosper into adulthood is all the reward this old fossil needs. With a wave, he sends us off into the rain, to the irate taximan's van that yells at us about his burning gas. While Olivia works to get herself situated in the cab, I turn back. Mr. Yodakin is sagging, meandering back into the building.
Oi, hurry up!
Right.